How does one evoke deep sadness in others, not through harsh words or dramatic gestures, but through a quiet and steady presence? The concept may seem paradoxical, but there's a profound connection between self-mastery and the emotional responses we inspire in others. By adopting certain Stoic principles, we can unknowingly create feelings of loss or longing in those who once took our presence for granted. But how can embracing calm, restraint, and emotional discipline lead others to experience a deep sense of regret or sorrow? In Stoic philosophy, the focus is on inner peace and self-control, not manipulation or emotional games. Yet when we truly embody these Stoic values, we often shift the dynamics of our relationships. By living a life of quiet strength and not succumbing to emotional outbursts, we can become a source of stability that others may miss when we are no longer readily available. This quiet withdrawal, rooted in Stoicism, often highlights the contrast between the chaotic world and the composed demeanor we cultivate. The question then arises, can the way we manage our own emotions truly leave a lasting impact on those around us? The teachings of the Stoics, such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, remind us that we cannot control the emotions of others, only our own actions and responses. Yet, paradoxically, it is through this very mastery of self that we can stir profound emotions in those who witness it. The more we practice detachment and emotional resilience, the more others may find themselves reflecting on our absence or our steady presence. Could it be that, by focusing on our inner calm, we unintentionally make others more aware of the emotional void we leave behind? This delicate balance of Stoic self-discipline and its effect on others is at the heart of our exploration. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, like it and write your opinion through comments. After this introduction, we go to the main topic and examine the 6 Stoic principles in this matter. 6 Stoic strategies. Use Stoicism to ignite their longing. Number 1. Be calm in chaos. Remaining calm in the midst of chaos is one of the most powerful Stoic strategies you can adopt. Chaos, whether it stems from life's external challenges or emotional turbulence, is inevitable. However, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control what happens around us, we can control how we respond. Being calm in chaotic moments not only demonstrates emotional strength, but also commands respect and admiration from others. This calmness, rooted in Stoic philosophy, makes others see you as grounded and resilient. When was the last time you faced a stressful situation? How did you respond? And how would remaining calm have altered the outcome? From a psychological perspective, calmness in chaos allows you to think clearly and make sound decisions, rather than acting impulsively. People are drawn to those who maintain their composure because it shows reliability and emotional maturity. According to Stoic thought, we must focus on what is within our control, and often the only thing we can control in chaotic situations is our reaction. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This approach can help you handle adversity and even inspire others to remain calm in difficult times. When you remain calm, especially in emotionally charged situations, you subtly influence those around you. Imagine being in a heated argument with a loved one, and instead of reacting with anger, you choose to stay composed and patient. This calmness can diffuse the tension, creating an environment where true communication can flourish. Stoicism teaches that by not allowing external chaos to disturb our inner peace, we become more effective in our interactions and more attractive to others. Can you think of a moment where calmness helped you connect better with someone? In conclusion, the ability to remain calm in chaos is not just about self-control, it's about creating stability in relationships and situations. By practicing this Stoic strategy, you can demonstrate to others that you are someone who doesn't crumble under pressure, making you a source of comfort and inspiration. Stoic calmness becomes a silent but powerful way to influence those around you, creating lasting connections rooted in respect and admiration. Number 2, control your emotions. The ability to control your emotions is a core tenet of Stoic philosophy and is essential in building strong relationships and maintaining inner peace. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions, while natural, should not govern our actions or thoughts. When you control your emotions, especially in difficult situations, you show emotional intelligence and strength. This composure can be incredibly attractive to others, as it shows that you are not easily swayed by external events or emotional whims. How often do you let your emotions control your decisions? What could change if you learned to master them? Psychologically, emotional control allows for clearer thinking and better decision-making. When emotions like anger, frustration, or jealousy are in charge, we often act in ways that we later regret. Stoic teachings encourage us to observe our emotions without immediately acting on them, allowing for more thoughtful and rational responses. Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoicism, emphasized that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This wisdom applies not only to difficult situations, but also to how we manage our daily interactions. By controlling your emotions, you create an environment of stability that others naturally gravitate toward. Imagine being in a situation where someone is upset or frustrated, and instead of reacting emotionally, you remain calm and collected. This response not only diffuses the situation, but also positions you as someone who can be relied upon in times of stress. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about managing them in a way that aligns with your values and goals, which is central to Stoicism. In summary, controlling your emotions allows you to navigate life with grace and wisdom. It helps you maintain inner peace and project strength, making you more appealing and trustworthy to others. As you practice emotional control, you become less reactive and more proactive in your relationships, ultimately improving your connection with others and helping you live a life in line with Stoic principles. Number 3, don't seek validation. Not seeking validation from others is a key Stoic principle that can profoundly impact your relationships and self-worth. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own inner values rather than external approval, emphasizing that our worth comes from within, not from the opinions of others. When you stop seeking validation, you become more self-assured and independent, which often makes others view you with greater respect. Are you someone who constantly looks for affirmation from others? How much would your confidence grow if you shifted your focus inward? From a psychological perspective, the need for external validation can lead to feelings of insecurity and dependency on others' opinions. Stoicism encourages self-reliance and inner strength, teaching us that seeking validation outside of ourselves is a path to frustration and disappointment. As Epictetus wisely said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The opinions of others are beyond our control, and once we let go of the need for approval, we gain a sense of freedom and self-empowerment. When you stop seeking validation, you naturally command more respect from others. People are drawn to those who are confident in their own worth and who do not rely on others for approval. Imagine being in a relationship where you no longer feel the need to constantly seek reassurance from your partner. Instead, you bring your own sense of worth to the relationship, creating a dynamic where both individuals feel valued independently. This is the essence of Stoicism: living in accordance with your values, without being swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. In conclusion, by not seeking validation from others, you align with Stoic philosophy and create a foundation of inner strength and confidence. This Stoic strategy not only enhances your self-worth, but also strengthens your relationships by fostering mutual respect and independence. Ultimately, when you focus on your own values and inner compass, you live a more fulfilling and empowered life, free from the constant need for external approval. Number 4, led by example. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is the idea of leading by example. Stoicism teaches that the best way to influence others is not through words, but through actions. When you live according to your values, practicing patience, wisdom, and emotional resilience, you silently inspire those around you to do the same. Think of someone you admire for their calmness in the face of challenges. Chances are, it's not what they say that impacts you, but how they carry themselves. Leading by example demonstrates the power of action over empty promises or advice. Do you live in a way that others can look up to, or do your actions sometimes contradict your words? From a psychological perspective, humans naturally look to others for guidance, especially when they're unsure how to handle a situation. When you embody Stoic virtues like self-control and integrity, you become a living example of the strength these traits offer. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control others, but we can control ourselves, and often, that's enough to influence those around us. For example, if you consistently respond to stressful situations with calmness and rational thinking, those in your circle are likely to follow your lead. Have you ever noticed how your behavior impacts the mood of others around you? Leading by example is not about perfection, it's about consistency and intention. The Stoics didn't believe in being flawless, but they emphasized striving to live in alignment with your principles. When others see you working to improve, despite setbacks, it ignites a sense of admiration and respect. Whether it's a friend who watches you maintain composure in a disagreement or a colleague who sees you handle pressure with grace, your actions speak louder than any advice you could give. In this way, you become a quiet yet powerful influence. Ultimately, leading by example is about being the change you wish to see in the world, rather than trying to impose that change on others. Ask yourself, are your actions aligned with the values you want to promote, or do you find yourself relying more on words than deeds? By living according to Stoic principles and demonstrating them through your actions, you show others the strength and peace that comes from Stoic living, sparking their own desire to embrace these traits in their lives. Number 5. Embrace impermanence. Embracing impermanence is a fundamental aspect of Stoic philosophy that reminds us of the fleeting nature of everything in life. The Stoics taught that nothing lasts forever, not our possessions, our relationships, or even our own existence. By accepting this reality, we learn to appreciate life's moments more deeply without becoming overly attached. Picture yourself admiring a sunset, knowing it will soon disappear. Instead of feeling sad, you savor its beauty while it lasts. In the same way, embracing the impermanence of life allows us to enjoy what we have now without fearing its loss. Can you imagine how much lighter life would feel if you accepted that change is inevitable? Psychologically, accepting impermanence can reduce anxiety and help us live more mindfully. When we cling to the idea that things must stay the same, we create unnecessary suffering. Stoicism encourages us to focus on the present moment, appreciating it fully while understanding that it won't last forever. This mindset allows us to handle change with grace and resilience. For example, when a close friendship naturally fades over time, instead of feeling devastated, you might remember the joy it once brought and move forward with gratitude. How often do you struggle with change, and could embracing impermanence bring you more peace? Stoicism also teaches that embracing impermanence helps us prepare for life's inevitable losses. Whether it's the end of a job, the death of a loved one, or the passing of time itself, understanding that nothing is permanent allows us to face these transitions with strength. This doesn't mean we become cold or detached, it means we appreciate what we have without clinging to it. Imagine how much more fully you could engage in life if you accepted that everything good or bad is temporary. In the end, embracing impermanence allows us to live with greater freedom and joy. When we let go of the need for things to stay the same, we open ourselves up to life's beauty and flow. Ask yourself, are you holding on too tightly to things that are bound to change? By adopting the Stoic mindset of impermanence, you can find peace in the fact that everything evolves and that this very impermanence makes life precious. Number 6. Don't overcommunicate. Stoic philosophy teaches us the value of restraint, not just in action but also in communication. One important Stoic strategy is to avoid overcommunicating, particularly in situations where silence might be more powerful. Sometimes, saying less can have a greater impact than over-explaining or constantly seeking validation. Think about a time when someone gave you advice, but they let their actions speak more than their words. That quiet confidence is often more compelling than long, drawn-out conversations. Over-communicating can dilute your message and create confusion or unnecessary conflict. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the more you talk, the less you're actually heard? Psychologically, people are more drawn to those who communicate clearly and concisely. When you speak with intention and purpose, your words carry more weight. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of our speech, focusing on what is necessary and avoiding excess. This applies not only to advice and instructions but also to emotional exchanges. For example, in a disagreement, instead of flooding the conversation with arguments, a well-chosen phrase or a moment of silence can often resolve tension more effectively. Can you think of a situation where saying less might have been more powerful? By not over-communicating, you also demonstrate self-control and confidence. The Stoics believe that mastering your emotions and impulses is key to living a balanced life. In communication, this means not feeling the need to fill every silence with words or to over-explain yourself. When you resist the urge to over-communicate, you show that you trust in your own thoughts and actions. Consider how powerful it is when someone speaks sparingly, yet their words resonate deeply. It reflects a Stoic sense of calm and assurance, traits that others find both admirable and magnetic. Ultimately, choosing not to over-communicate is a way to respect both yourself and others. It reflects a belief that your actions and thoughtful words are enough. Ask yourself, do you feel the need to over-explain or constantly talk? Or can you embrace the silence and simplicity of well-chosen words? By adopting a more Stoic approach to communication, you can create deeper connections and show others that you understand the power of restraint. I hope these Stoic teachings are useful and effective for you. My goal is to make your life better and more enjoyable. I will accompany you in this interesting and meaningful magazine,